Hello friends, you must be aware of Evergrande issue in China. It's a real estate giant in China. Now because of that, suddenly there is a fall of commodity prices across the globe. All the commodity stock prices are coming down. So is in India. So let us see what is an implication of this Evergrande issue and how our steel industries are performing and it's going to perform from here onwards. Also, I will show you how to evaluate a steel company. So it will be helpful to you to make a better valuation anytime whenever you want to do it. Hello friends, my name is C.A. Tapan Doshi. I am a stockbroker and a founder of Investors Firm. I am a stockbroker of Kotak Securities. So let's deep dive in the steel industry. So what is happening in steel industry? The main component of making a steel is a coking coal. Now there is a sudden rise in coking coal prices across the globe, and also the ore prices are coming down. So because of that, there is a shrink of margin happening. Now earlier there were steel companies were enjoying very good margin, but now going onwards the margin will be on a lower side. Elevated raw material prices should keep steel prices supported in a medium term, that will be on a lower level. Also, as I told you, Indian steel producer enjoyed a combination of strong iron ore prices and a weak coking coal prices from last 12 months. As a result, their margin were quite high. Now, the surplus domestic iron ore market is happening in India. So, as a result, there will be a pressure on the margin level. So now let us see how the international iron ore prices are fit happening. International iron ore prices declined 14% month on month in September 2021. So as you can see in this chart, there is a sudden drop of the iron ore prices, and also that is happening from September onwards because of this real estate issue and all that happening in China. Again, the average cooking oil prices increased 30% month on month in September. So as you can see, the in this chart there is a sudden surge from August and September. The cooking oil prices almost increased 30% month on month basis. Now, this higher cooking coal costs offset the fall in iron ore prices, so keeping the raw material cost elevated. So as you can see, the raw material cost is on a rising trend, and somehow September also it is on a higher side. So that is why the margin is shrinking. Now, Indian spreads are underperforming Asia spreads on a weaker iron ore and stronger cooking coal. Now, what is happening? What is the spread? Spread is the difference between the two prices. Now see, you can see here the Indian prices, which is on the gray line, it is on a lower level compared to Asian spread. Again, because of corona, the steel production was on a lower side, but now as the pandemic impact is getting lower and lower, you can see that the production has increased. Also, Indian steel demand increased by 45% for financial year 2021 on a COVID impact low base, because the base of COVID was quite low last year. That's why. So as you can see, the production has changed by almost 44%. Even the imports 18%, export almost 12.7%. So the consumption overall year, if you can see, it is almost 45% increase in consumption after the COVID level, which was bound to happen. Now Indian net export declined on improved domestic demand. You can see here, you can see in the downward trend, because there is a lot more demand at a domestic level. There is a decline in Indian net export from June to August. You can see here, July to August, sorry. Also, domestic steel inventory increased marginally in August 21. So, you can see here there is a little bit of you can say pickup from July on August onwards. So, basically the steel inventory is increasing, so the production is increasing at in all steel companies. Now, you can see this chart. Now, basically, a steel industry is a capital intensive industry, so they have to invest a lot at a for increasing their production and all that, and their payback is happening after many years. So as you can see here, that from 2015 to 2025 estimates are given. The capacity utilization in 2015 was 85. Then there was drop, and again it was stagnant at 85%, 87%. But now what is happening, that from last 1 or 2 years onwards they are not adding any capacity. However, they are utilizing current capacity much more on a better way. So you can see here that from 2021, 85%. Now this is due to pandemic, it was on a lower level, but now from, as you can see, from 22 23 24 2022 23 24, there is a upward rise in capacity utilization, that is 93%, almost around 93%. So in a way, steel companies are utilizing their capacity much better way, and again the new addition is not happening for next few years basically. Now these are the this is the chart which will show you what is the volume per ton, what is at ton level, realization at ton level, and also EBITDA at ton level. Now these are the four main companies: JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, and SAIL. So you can see on year basis the volume has increased. Of course, you can say that it is compared with the pandemic uh, uh, era, so that's why there is an increase. Okay, again, but for the next few years, basically from 2022 and 2023 estimates, you can see the volume is almost stagnant. Okay, the volume is going to remain stagnant only. Now you will see that in 2021 there was almost 14,880 for JSW, and it has increased to 17,400 to 20,238. For Tata Steel, it has remained stagnant. Now, talking about realization per ton, as I told you, last 12 months was very good, and also next few months may remain good also. So you can see that the Tata Steel, that realization, okay, per ton, you can see here. What is realization? Realization is the price per ton. Okay, so it was in last year it was around 5344 because of pandemic. Now there is a jump to 75,000 to 64,000. So you can see last year it was around 52,400. Now for current year it may be 67, and then again it will normalize to 55. Similarly, there is a spike and fall in JSW Steel also. See, now talking about EBITDA ton. EBITDA ton also happening same for Tata Steel. Well, EBITDA has increased a lot for 2022. Okay, to 28,000. Then there is a fall. Now this increase in EBITDA is because of increase in realization. Okay, so that, and costs were at a lower level, so the EBITDA was on a high on 2022 basis. Okay, now similarly for JSW it's happening the same. So now let us see what is the impact of coking coal. If that rise of raw material is increasing, what will be impact on all the companies? Now as you can see that if there is an increase of US 10 per ton, okay, increase in coking coal prices, the EBITDA of sale will be around 7% lower. For JS, for Jindal Steel, it will be -5%. For Tata Steel, it will be -4%. And Jindal Steel and Power will be around 2%, -2%. Okay. So what is enterprise value? Enterprise value is nothing but market capitalization plus total debt minus the cash component. So you can see here that enterprise value of Tata will increase by 58% from 2020 to 2023. You can see the chart here. Okay. Now why it will increase? Because they are also deleveraging their balance sheet. So because of deleveraging, the asset will increase, and so enterprise value also will increase. So there is a big jump in Tata Steel EV. enterprise value. Similarly, Jindal Steel, they will be increased by around 126%. See, from financial 2020 to financial year 2023, almost 126%. For JSP, it will be around 14% only, and sale it will be around 7%. But however, all companies are working on deleveraging their balance sheet, so that is a plus point. Now, as I told you, that still companies are deleveraging at a fast pace. So if what about net debt over EBITDA? Okay, so you can see here the net debt divided by EBITDA is around 2.7% for Tata Steel. For JSP it is 1.5, for JSTL it is 2.6, and and SAIL for 2.9. Now this 2.7%, 2.7 times is reduced to 0.5 times in 2024 estimates. So you can see how much deleveraging is happening. That is the biggest reason why everyone is bullish in steel companies. Even for JSP it is from 1.5 to 0.6. For JSTL it is 2.6 to 1.4. For SAIL it is 2.9 to 0.8. So this deleveraging will help them to improve the balance sheet, and it will increase the profitability, because your interest and depreciation, all that cost will not come. Now let us talk about the valuation. Talking about the valuation, we are bullish on Jindal Steel and Power and Tata Steel. So you can see here the Jindal Steel and Power, the target price is 540, and for Tata Steel it is 1750. So almost an upside of for Jindal Steel and Power it is 54%, and for Tata Steel it is 40%. Now talking about EPS for the next year it is expected around 74, then it may reduce to 55 and 59 afterwards. Now why it is this year it is on a higher side? Because higher realization and lower cost. Okay, so an EPS growth is 18 minus 25 and 7. P is on a much lower side, as you can see 5, 6, 6, which is quite low. Similarly, for Tata Steel, the EPS may be 333, then 175 and 166. Even PE is 478, which is on a lower side. Now, for any capital intensive industry, the way to calculate the valuation is mostly for taking into count of EV divided by EBITDA, enterprise value divided by EBITDA. That is the main parameter. Now you can see this for Jindal Steel and Power. For 22, for the next set is 3.3, then 3.8, then 3.5. So which is on a lower side. 3.5 is very good. Okay, similarly for Tata Steel it is 3.1, 4.4 and 4.1, which is on a lower side. However, for rest it is on a higher side. Okay, for JSW Steel it is 6.6%. Even for SAIL is 2.9, but it is a public sector, so that's why we are not going for it. Now price of divide by book value. So PB ratio is for Jindal Steel is 0.6, 0.8 and 0.7. Quite low. Similarly for Tata Steel 1.4, 1.2 and 1. Then return on equity 21, 13 and 13 for Jindal Steel and Power, and similarly for Tata Steel is 14, 18 and 15. So as you can see, return of equity is also quite good. So these are the reason why we are quite bullish on Tata Steel and Jindal Steel and Power. Even at the current level, one should think about buying it, even though there is a fall in steel, basically consumption level of steel and other metals because of the China crisis. But every crisis gives an opportunity to buy, and you can expect a very good return in coming years. So friends, hope you like this analysis, and if you like my analysis and if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also like this video, and a link is given below where you can go and check out to open a Demat account with Kotak Securities, so we can give you a much more better feedback, also give much better fundamental picks going on. Me CA Tapan Doshi signing off. Thank you very much.